Hello everyone, my name is Leo. I'm giving this video so I can tell you just a little bit more about me. I come from a background where on one side of the family, my father's side, my grandmother had 12 kids, was Section 8. Their avenues to success were either drugs, gangs, or football. And they chose football. All of them got scholarships. One of my uncles won the Heisman, played for USC, and then played for the Rams and the Browns after that. And then all my family on that side bumped up in generation from poverty level, Section 8 living, to basically living, middle to upper class. And they did that in one jump as an entire family. The other side of my family, my mother from the Philippines, she was born in the U.S. but lived in the Philippines for most of her younger life till she was like 9. She valued education because in the Philippines the educational system wasn't necessarily free. There was no free education at the time, and so when she came over to the States, she had to go through her own trials and tribulations with language barriers. But she was always the top student, and she loved education. But she met my father. They were both in a situation where they were in that environment where it was just violent and chaotic, and they didn't know what was going to happen during the LA riot times. And she had me during that time. And back then, if you had a kid around then, and even now, if you have a kid, they told her like you're not going to be successful, and she said, "No, I'm gonna do it." And she struck it out. She raised me, she raised my brothers, and now she's going back for a PhD. Like, she got out of it. And so the reason purpose is just so you a little bit to know about my background and how big and important football was, as well as education. And so I started playing football also my life, and senior year of high school, I had one of those dream seasons, and I thought I was for sure getting a scholarship. Nobody contacted me. And instead of giving up, I basically decided that I wasn't going to give up. I worked way too hard all my life to just give up, because signing day, there was no one calling me. And so I emailed literally every school I could think of, sent an email to them, and it turns out that like 2 schools responded, and one of them was the University of San Diego. And so from that point, I knew that anything I commit my mind to it, there's always another way if you stay flexible and you stay committed. And from that point, went to the University of San Diego, played, was there on a football team, and everything was going great. And then one day I decided to help this guy out. He was walking down the dorms, and he was like struggling with 3 bags, like a Sri Lankan guy. And I was like, "Oh, let me go help you out." So I helped him with his bags, helped him to his car. He said, "Hey man, let me get your number." He got my number and he walked away. He ends up calling me later and says, "Hey, I got this business opportunity," and it turned to find out that it was multi-level marketing. And I got into it, first time exposed to the entrepreneurship world, or self-help, motivation, growth, sales, all that stuff. And I fell in love with it. One of the first books that I was given by my mentor, who at the time his name was Arvinda, he had a book called Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. That book changed my life. It allowed me to believe that I'm in control of my destiny and who I am. I had a choice to make. Sophomore year, as I was building the business, I had a choice to make. Do I continue building this business and going this entrepreneur route and going into organizations? Or do I continue playing football, which was my family's sustenance? Like, the family was looking at me to go to the league, to go to the next level, to be the best college player. They were looking to me because I was the next generation. And I had to make a decision. And that decision came with the strength of knowing that my path is in motivational and in speaking and going into that route. And so I made that decision. Couple years later, I started an organization, that year I started an organization, Leaders of Tomorrow, is where I met Maxwell. We started this organization, Leaders of Tomorrow, and then we started just empowering students, telling them that they're in control of their destinies, they're in control of their mindsets, they can change their environments. And they used to come every week. We used to give speeches over and over, and workshops and all these different things. And it was amazing. And then we decided, you know what? We also need to think about the youth. The youth is where change needs to happen too. And so we went and designed a program, the Young Dreamers United, to go and teach the youth, especially at-risk youth, and started empowering them that they're in control of their destinies. They can achieve their dreams, that it's not over until you win. Les Brown's quote. Love listening to Les Brown. They say I look like Les Brown, or I'm related to Les Brown because my name is Leo Brown. I'll take it, but he's someone that I look up to. I would love to meet him one day. That's a great speaker. And so listened to Les Brown, gave all these speeches, and then basically just started doing even more. So we had the two organizations running. I started getting involved with people on campus, started speaking at all these different events, And then there was something that hit me. The school didn't feel united, and so I felt the need to create an organization that united people around school spirit. And so I started the Young Dreamers. I started the New Beginning Alliance with a bunch of other people on campuses, all diverse groups, and we just started speaking out about change and creating change and wearing blue and bleeding blue and all of this. And so the entire school started going to more football games, started wearing more blue, started being more organized, started loving on one another more, started being more authentic. And I was invited by one of the department heads to be the first convocation speaker at our university. And so I gave the speech, and that was senior year. I gave the speech to the entire freshman class. It's crazy and powerful because when I first gave the speech, or when I first started Leaders Tomorrow sophomore year, right? I had a vision, and I drew it out. And when I was by myself, didn't really have anybody, and I drew out me speaking in front of like all this massive audience. And I put it down in my goal back then that I wanted to speak in front of 200 people. The group that I spoke in front of, the entire freshman class that I spoke and gave this speech in, was 1,300. And I look back at it and I was like, how amazing and blessed was that? And I tell you this because I joined a fraternity. I got involved in so many organizations. I got the philanthropy award, the Chet Pagney award. That's like one of the biggest awards offered by the University of San Diego. And I felt like I made authentic connections. I had friends. I made the most of myself. I pushed myself to the next level. It was beautiful. I made the best of the 4 years, the absolute best. And so my goal here now is to help empower people to live their best 4 years. That's not necessarily meaning you have to make an organization or you have to go and do all this crazy stuff and speak. But what I'm saying is there's certain mindset. There's a mindset that you can have, a dream mindset, that you can make the most of your college experience for these 4 years. And if you're an educator, bringing us in, me and Max and Dash Masters, to help empower your students, it's going to change their lives forever. You're going to see the results of our workshops and our processes, and they're going to be thanking you later for the amount of change that has happened. And if you're a student, buy our book, Dream College. It will literally change the way you view the next 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, or even if it's just one last year. This book will change your life. My name is Leo the Lion from Dash Masters. It's a pleasure speaking to you. Hope to get connected. Bye-bye.